Hello everyone. It is an honor to connect with you in this moment. I received a pretty cool new way to think about time. Well, new to me at least. So I felt compelled to share it with you guys here and do my part in distributing my ideas throughout the collective. Because whether or not this information has any significance on its own, I strongly believe that each new thought and idea is like individual pieces of a puzzle that can be interpreted differently by different people and put together over time. So what I want to propose in this video is a new way of understanding and visualizing the concept of time. Time is a very abstract concept to grasp because it is not physical. And since we are physical, our brains tend to assign physical images to non-physical concepts in an attempt to make sense of them and fit them into the context we have, which is our physical existence. So with that being said, I think we have a tendency to think of time as being linear and horizontal. It moves in a straight line forward and backwards. But if you're watching this video right now, I'm sure you have an idea that time is much more complex and convoluted than that. So instead of thinking about time as being linear and horizontal, try thinking about time as being interlaced and vertical. I think this representation offers a much better way to visualize time. So let's look at it this way. Let's say that this is the present moment, and let's say this is the past. The events of the past are what led up to create this moment in the present. So just using myself as an example, I set up my tripod, got my whiteboard out, turned my camera on, and pressed record. Those events have affected the reality that I'm currently experiencing. However, it doesn't just end there. The way I see it is that the present moment is being simultaneously influenced by two forces, the past and the future, because the future definitely affects the present reality we are currently experiencing. Going back to the example of me making this video, my present moment is not only the result of the events that led up to it in the past, it is also the result of events that I am projecting for the future. I have an intention for this video. I have points that I plan to make. Therefore, in each moment, I am choosing what to say or draw based on the future I want to create. So, in a way, we can think of the past as being the external influence on the present, and the future as being the internal influence. Because your inner world affects your outer world is the result of your inner world. So the past has already manifested into the outer world, and we are reacting to it in the present. But the future will manifest as the result of our inner world, so we are proactively creating it in the present. And this is a never-ending cycle. Therefore, time is just a perpetual series of present moments interlaced between the past and the future. It is the intersection of the past and the future. The present moment always consists of a reaction to the past and a proactive creation of the future. They are the two elements that comprise every moment simultaneously. You are constantly living out what the events of the past have created externally, and you are constantly deciding what to do and create next internally. It is the culmination of these two opposing forces that make up a present moment. But the crazy, confusing, convoluted thing about time is that it's all just an illusion anyway. This concept of past, present, and future time is just a theoretical construct that humans have developed as imaginary points of reference for this 3D matrix. They do not actually exist. They are subject to our three-dimensional human perspective, or I suppose our four-dimensional perspective if we acknowledge time as the fourth dimension. But either way, it's hard to wrap our heads around the illusion when we are the ones who created that illusion in the first place. So, while from our perspective, time may appear to be an oscillating perception, it is in fact a single absolute unit, a single infinite moment. A higher dimensional being could look at this objectively and understand that it is all just an illusion. The only thing that exists is now. And if you are constantly reliving the past or worrying about the future, you are literally and metaphorically out of alignment with this reality. You have given your power away because all power exists in the now. But again, from our human perspective, our current human perspective at least, our nows are still subjective. So for example, let's say that 2019 is my now. Obviously I could get a lot more specific, but for the sake of simplicity, let's just say 2019. So for those of you watching this video in 2020, your now is completely different from mine. I'm not still behind this camera. I'm not still making this video. My now is different from your now. Everyone's now is relative. All time is subjective. But that's not to be confused with order. I think we can all agree that there's an objective chronological order of events. No matter how far you are in the past or the future, 2019 is always before 2020, and 2020 is always after 2019. That order of events is the same for both of us, but our sense of past, present, and future are different. Right now, in my present moment, you are in the future. Right now, in your present moment, I am in the past. Yet the intersection of our present moments has transcended the limits of time. Now, a human hundreds of years ago probably wouldn't believe this was possible. They probably would not be able to comprehend this possibility because they did not have the technology to bring it about. It's easy to forget that it has only been recently that we've developed the technology that proves to us that all time exists simultaneously. It is a series of moments interwoven into sequences. It weaves together the fabric of our realities. Right now, I am creating your moment, and you are reacting to my moment. Yet they both simultaneously exist in the present. Think about that. It's a very strange thing. It's like we have this superpower to crystallize our moments, to immortalize them, immortalize ourselves. From now on, we will always have proof of our moments. In a way, we have already transcended our lifetimes because we have the technology to immortalize our moments. And I suppose one could say that ancient artifacts and drawings and records have already done this. But obviously, we have achieved a whole new level of immortality, a kind that is more straightforward and validated. And I thought this was an interesting way to think about time, because there's a lot of synchronicity in this image. You have the double helix DNA strand, the Shakti and Shiva Kundalini energy, the chakras, and if you compressed it down into one cycle, you have the infinity loop. There seems to be all kinds of hidden messages in this image, so I think it's worth contemplating in regards to time. Anyway, that's all I have to share with y'all today. Hopefully that made sense, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Stay woke.